number 4. Hello everybody, it's Mike the Baldadonis. Boom! Hey guys, part number 4. Okay, so on the last episode of the last video, I talked about I bought a Ninja 600R. So let's recap real quickly. Part 1, I bought into a repair shop, and after several months we went to Arizona for a vacation, came back, then we moved out there, only for him to leave 2 days later, and after 3 months I flew home with no money. Episode number 2, or part number 2, I meet up with a friend, a small drug dealer, and therefore I become a drug dealer. Part number 3, after 8 months of being a drug dealer, I got set up, and I'm looking at 10 years in prison. I got arrested. Part 4. Okay guys, so in the last episode I did say I bought a 600R Ninja, 1986. I was on my way to a nightclub. It was called the Town Line, and that was in Malden, Massachusetts on Route 99. So about a half a mile, maybe a mile away, I'm at a set of lights, and I'm just sitting there. It was a nice night. It was May of 1991. I'm sitting there at the set of lights. It's red. I'm wearing overall shorts with a t-shirt and sneakers and just a regular helmet with a face mask. So I'm sitting there, the face mask is got, but I'm just, checking out the area because it was nice and quiet. There was no cars around. It was around 11:30 maybe at night. And here comes somebody on a motorcycle, pulls up next to me. He actually knew who I was. And one of the episodes I talk about my so-called friend that was falling in love with my then girlfriend. So that was his friend. You know who it was? He's like, "Hey Mike, where you going?" I'm like, "I'm going to Town Line." He's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll meet you there." The light turns green. He gets on it. Now he's on one of those not a Harley, but it was a Japanese bike that looked like a Harley. And back then, you made fun of these people because they were wannabe Harley drivers. But at the same time, I'm using a rice rocket. That's what we called it back in the day, or a crotch rocket. Anyways, I frowned upon his bike because, he couldn't afford a real Harley Davidson, so he bought a knockoff. So I was kind of goofing on him. Anyways, he takes off. I'm like, hell no. I drop my windshield. I downshift to first gear. I take off. Now, this road happens to be, how's it go? It goes about maybe quarter of a mile, eighth of a mile. Bears right, opens right up. You can open it up to, I think it would be a quarter of a mile, maybe a little bit longer. And then it starts to bear left, and then you go straight, and the bar is right on the right-hand side. Now, the road was just previously torn up, fresh pavement, one coat only, so the manhole covers are sticking out. I had never driven this bike as fast as I did, like I did that night. Wide open. Where, shifting through the gears. I am pegged. 140 miles an hour. 140 miles an hour. And the left-hand turn is coming up very quickly. As I'm turning, my back tire hits that manhole cover, straightens up my bike. Next thing I know, I hit a curb. I fly over the handlebars right into a tree. Bam! Crack my fucking helmet. Boom! I was like, I ricocheted from a tree to a wall and garbage. Like, boom, 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 boom. Just ricocheted. Next thing I know, I'm looking up. My leg, the bone is sticking right out of my left leg. Compound fracture. Broken half. The lower left leg, same thing. Shattered. My ankle and foot was twisted halfway around. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you know, like you're in a situation, you're like, all of a sudden you think about something, and it did for me because I realized I still have drugs on me. I carried around a pouch that looked like, was just a little zipper pouch that I think they were called Ferraris or La Ferrari. I think they were called Ferrari sunglasses. They were foldable sunglasses and you put them in a pouch. Now back in 1990, 1991, they were kind of cool to have them, but they were cheesy. You know what I mean? So I used to put my drugs in that little thing and stash it in, and it was right here in my pocket. I do recall having it on me. I reached in and I threw it. Second thing I was doing was, how's my bike? I looked down and it's way down the road. That bike went way down. And the people were coming all around me going, hey, stop moving. You know, we get the fire department here, the ambulance is coming, trying to calm me down. And the guy that, you know, I don't think he wanted to race. I just happened to think I was going to beat him. You know what I mean? I had that ego of my bike's faster than yours. Let me prove it. And look what it did to me. I just wiped out, ripping off my leg. So he pulled up, saw that I was getting help, and he took off. I don't know if he was drinking at the time and he didn't want to talk to anybody. I don't know. But he ended up, I knew he left. But the ambulance shows up, everybody shows up, and now they want to med flight me to Mass General in Boston. Sorry, I had to check to see if my microphone was on. So, yeah, they wanted to med flight me to Mass General. That wasn't going to happen, and an ambulance took me from Malden, Mass to Boston. You know, I don't know how long it took them. 10, 15 minutes maybe. I don't know. So my parents were notified. I don't recall seeing my mom, but I do recall seeing my dad. And they were telling him, we got to cut his leg off because gangrene may be setting in. And I'm freaking out. I'm like screaming and crying. You know, I'm losing my leg. And, you know, me and my father, we weren't getting along very well. You know, I dropped out of high school because we had some issues. I ran away from home. You know, he tracked me down, you know, trying to patch things up. But, you know, just, I was always like that. I'm a good kid. I just do stupid things. You know what I mean? And I can never, you know, me and him just never clicked. It was always something. And anyways, I told him that I loved him. You know, because I didn't know what was going to happen. You know, I put all that remorse that I had for him to the side. You know, told him that I did love him. And next thing I know, I'm laying up in the bed with all that machinery to hold your leg up. A woman surgeon was able to save my leg. 4 operations or surgeries. She inserted a rod through my left pelvic area, right through the bone, and then she took skin grafts off my right leg, like layers of skin off my leg to patch up this hole, so you can still see the bone through the skin layers. And whew, that was awful. And my lower left leg, my whole shin, the foot, everything was all messed up. They put external rods sticking out of my leg, these long, they were probably about maybe 8, I don't know how long they were. They were long, maybe a foot long. And they drilled through the holes. They drilled holes through my, the bones, and braced it up, put it all together, and saved my leg. I was in the New England Medical Journal, I believe it is, 1991. I just don't recall the surgeon's name. And I know it was a female, so thank you very much. Obviously, I appreciated that tremendously. So as I'm sitting there laying in the bed, all my friends are there. Some of my friends, they walked out puking. That's how messed up I looked. Now I have 10 years over my head for prison. And I'm putting my friends and family, and mostly my family, in another situation where they have to look after me. And while I was there, the Malden Police Department came in. Now, I'm all doped up, as you can imagine, all kinds of medications. The cops are asking me, so what happened? So, because I am all messed up on medication, I'm like, yeah, it's doing 140, this and that. I wiped out, obviously I wiped out, but, so the guy's writing me a ticket. I have no idea. He's listening to what I'm saying, knowing that I'm fucked up, and he's writing me a ticket. Unregistered, uninsured, attaching plates, driving without a license. It's 2 tickets. I'm gonna post that up. I'm like, I'm not thinking nothing about it because I'm all messed up, and I thought they were just asking me questions. So, when I threw the drugs away, that hot girl that I said that I was with early in the afternoon, she went out and found them. Great. You know what I mean? The cops didn't find them. She has $800 or $1,000 worth of drugs that were in my pocket, and I threw it to the side. To find out that, she and her friends did it all. Never gave it back to me. And she obviously was hiding from me, and I'm okay with that, because if they found it on me, more time was being added to me. You know what I mean? So she did me the favor. If they went back, whatever. But at that time, I was fucking pissed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you little fucking bitch. Excuse my language, but I felt I got screwed over. But in the reality of it was, she got rid of any evidence if they went back looking for anything. So, whatever. I look at it as that way now. So, I'm in there for 3 weeks. The court is calling, looking for me. My lawyer's looking for me. I'm like, I'm in the hospital. They're like, well, you have to get here. Because I believe I was going either for trial or right before trial. I'm at my last stop before something was going on, jail time. So they're like, oh, we'll get back to you. Next thing you know, whole big thing's going on. The hospital knows that I'm, you know, waiting to go to prison. The doctors know, you know, because they have to prove that I'm at the hospital. You know, otherwise I put a warrant for my arrest. So yeah, I'm in the hospital. The doctors know that. Now everybody knows it. You know, all the nurses taking care of me, all the aides, everybody knows I'm this fucking drug dealer going to prison. And you know, it was a little touchy situation, yeah. But after 3 weeks, they shipped me home, and we got a hospital bed, put it in the first floor. I was in the living room, and that's where I stayed for a few months. I had those external rods, and my sister, you know, she had to help me. My mom had to help me. Whoever was there had to help me clean those rods, because when your body heals, that bloody goo that it's trying to heal, it wants to connect to those rods. So we had to keep those things cleaned all the time with swabs and alcohol. And ooh, that stuff hurt. I mean, yeah, the leg hurt, but that hurt as well. And I was in some pain. But you know, now I have 10 years over my head. My parents got to take care of me. My sisters got to take care of me. My friends are taking care of me. You know, so I'm just a total mess. You know, finally, after a few months, they were able to take those rods out. I was able to get myself into a walking cast, which is, you might see people walking around this big boot. It has these Velcros on it, and so it sucks in and has air. It's lined up with liner, and it's just air inside, so it's like a cushion. So I was walking around with that. Well, I wasn't really walking around. My leg was stuck in a position for so long that I had to keep going to physical therapy. And I had a great physical therapist, nicest guy. And I after a little while, I had to tell him what was going on, because they want me in jail. I was like, can you please write up, you know, a note, a letter, something saying that, you know, I'm not ready. I can't go to jail like this. I can't even move my leg. And I felt bad asking him for that, because he was such a nice guy. You know, then, you know, when you tell somebody that, you know, you're looking at a lot of jail time, it's, you know, it's like embarrassing. And I don't think he saw me in that way. I think he knew I was a decent kid. You know what I mean? I just do stupid things, obviously. You know, I'm not a punk. I'm not something like that. I'm just, you know, I get myself in trouble. And that's the way it was. But he did. He wrote up a letter. So I saved a year before I went away. There's a little bit more to the story. So, do I want to make another video? Yeah, we'll do another video. I'll talk about everything in between that year, what happened. I get back with the ex-girlfriend. I get another apartment. I actually got 2 apartments. You know, I got a Camaro Z28. So I still have good stories coming. And eventually I'll tell you each prison that I went to, what all that stuff was like. And you get to live those stories through me, and that's it. So everybody, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the likes, the comments. You know, 10 years, I'm looking at busted up leg, can't walk. My face, when I hit that tree, sometimes you can still see it. I look like a raccoon. I broke my nose for the 4th time, and that windshield went right through my skin, and that's why you see a lot of scars. I still have some scars, but after 30 years, some of it went away. Not 1991, so whatever that time was, you know. Again, thank you very much for being patient with me and listening to my stories. And I hope that you guys will join me for the next time. Until then, Baldadonis out.